with. It's a legitimate, but it's not the notation I can work with.
Would you use like the dx over dy?
You mean dy over dx? Yes.
dy, yeah, sorry.
Exactly. Without this, I cannot proceed. Absolutely. Y prime has to be replaced by dy over dx. Good. Now I'm back to the previous situation. It's a slightly more involved. In a moment, you'll see. Okay, so what do I have to do first? Let's look at this equation. We cannot use this. This is a legitimate notation, but it's not good for what we are trying to do. So what do we have to do first? Say it again. I heard the blurb that I got. Yes.
Separate.
So we have first multiply by dx. So dy equals 3x plus xy times dx. Notice that there is a minor problem now. But if you look carefully, you will realize that these two have a common factor. What is the common factor of 3x and x plus y? I'm sorry, 3x and xy.
X.
Yes. So I would pull out an x. What is left in parentheses?
3 plus y.
Good. I'm going to write it as y plus 3. Same thing. Good. Okay. I want and I am happy with x. I am happy with dx, but I am not happy with y plus 3 because that's not where it should be. Y plus 3 has to go. What do I do so that y plus 3 goes away?
Divide.
Exactly. I divide by y plus 3. Exactly. So dy over y plus 3 equals x dx. Ah, yes. Are they completely separated? Because if they are, I can integrate. If they are not, I cannot integrate.
They are.
They are. So therefore, the right-hand side is easy. X squared over 2 plus a constant c. I'm going to leave some space here. I will come back. But let's take dy over y plus 3. Okay? We need a substitution. So let's use the substitution w. What substitution we need to use here? What is the problem?
Y plus 3.
Indeed. Can anyone give us dw, please? Excellent. Thank you. Because without dw, I cannot continue.
Is it supposed to be y squared?
You mean here? You mean here?
Yes.
But I don't have y squared. I only have y plus 3. So dw equals dy. So then the integral is dw over w. Okay, so what do I have? dw over w. It's the same formula we used 10 minutes ago. It's the same function. Which function do we use to differentiate to get 1 over w? This is a
LMW.
yes, but the absolute value. I will write a constant here because it's an integral, but I will not write it here. So of course I have to go back to the original variable because this is an indefinite integral. So I have to go back and I have natural log of the absolute value of y plus 3. And this is the equation now that I have to solve for y. And I'm also given 0, 5. 0, 5. That will help us determine c. Okay, so now we're back where we were a few minutes ago. I'm going to copy this equation on the next page so I can continue, so it's clear. So we have natural log of the absolute value y plus 3 equals x squared over 2 plus a constant c. Okay, let's think for a moment. It's from this moment on is only algebra. Calculus is done. How do I convert this log equation into an exponential equation? What is the base in letter log? That's where we have to start.
E.
Yes. We don't write it, but we know it's there. So how do we convert this into an exponential equation so we can solve it?
So would it be e to the power of x squared over 2 and then plus c, just c?
Excellent. Excellent. Good. So now, like before, I should write y plus 3 equals plus or minus e to x squared over 2 plus a constant c. Now, here's what we're going to do next. We're going to plug in the 0.0, 5. That will help us determine the constant. Ready? When x is 0, 0 over 2 is 0, e to c is e to c. I have plus or minus in front. And y is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. Now, I need to determine the constant. In order to determine a constant in this case, I have to apply natural log to both sides. But I cannot apply to a negative number. So we have two options here. E to c equals 8 and e to c equals negative 8, but this is not possible. Because the exponential function, if you remember, looks like this. It's always positive. It cannot be negative. So e to c equals 8. We apply the natural log to both sides to get c equals natural log 8. Now, we could have determined the constant here at this stage. So when x is 0, so the constant equals natural log of the absolute value of 8. And this is it. We didn't have to wait. Maybe if we wait, it's a little bit more difficult to understand. Maybe we should have just the same thing. But maybe we should have said, okay, at this in this stage, I have when x is 0, y is 5. Natural log of 8 is natural log of 8. So then the constant is natural log 8. So now the final solution. Y plus 3 equals plus or minus e to x squared over 2 plus natural log 8. Now, I have to select which one. I have to select the one that gives us the 0, 5. The one with negative will not give us the 0, 5. Here's what happens. When x is 0, this number is 8, but this number plus or minus and this one is 8. So only positive. Only positive. The negative one does not work. So then the final solution. Now you understand why I'm saying that these are cumbersome type of problems. Much more difficult than finding max, min, graphing, anything. This is more intense. So then y equals negative 3 plus e to x squared over 2 times e to natural log 8. This is another formula, gives us 8. We discussed that formula some time ago. So y equals, and I can explain again, plus 8e to x squared over 2. So this was an intense problem. This is not a trivial problem by any means, in my opinion. First of all, we were given a trap. We had to change it to dy over dx. Then we had to factor after multiplying both sides by dx. Then we had to factor. Then we had to divide. Then we had to use a substitution to determine this integral. Now I have the two sides. I find the constant. I put the point in to find the constant. Then I have plus or minus. Which one do I choose? It's only the one. I can only choose the one that gives me gives validity to 0, 5. But see, if I have 0 here, the whole thing here is 8, but not plus or minus, because this side is 8. So 8 cannot equal plus or minus 8. That's why we only choose the plus. This point helped me determine if it's plus or minus. And therefore, that was the final solution. Let me refresh your memory on this. This is another property. We discussed this. So log base a, sorry, a raised to log base a of x is x. So the base raised to natural log 8. The base is e raised to natural log 8 is 8. You can say, but this looks different. Yes, because it's log base a and natural log base e. E. Base the same base and the same base here. If they are the same and nothing else, completely clean, only one in front, nothing, no numbers, nothing else, that's it, then the answer is 8. Or you can put in the graphing calculator and you will see that the answer is 8. Any questions?